I'm Linda with American Patchwork and Quilting, and I'm here with Angela Walters, Ambassador for Handy Quilter, and we want to talk a little bit about how to quilt your blocks.
Absolutely. Well, I think people think that there's only two ways to quilt a quilt, right? An all-over design or super custom quilting. And I think there's a really good third option. It's what I like to jokingly call semi-custom. It's where you do something that's a little bit more, but not just an all-over design.
Great. Show me some examples of that.
Well, this quilt right here is a great example. It has, the different blocks, but instead of just quilting, each block separately, really custom, or doing just your regular all-over design, I quilted some lines that echo the side and actually combine those blocks. And it results in an interesting design that's not that much harder than doing it on all-over.
So you quilted it right over the seam lines and really went with the lines of the color or the design rather than the individual pieces.
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense, Angela.
So you can combine your quilt blocks, or you can look at your individual blocks and decide if you want to quilt them all separately or together. So I think if you were going the really custom quilting route, you might feel the need to quilt each one of these little areas separately with something different, which is fun, but if you're wanting something quicker or not really wanting to take that much time, you can combine the elements of this block and quilt one design. It's not an all over because you have a different background filler, but it's still a nice option and it's easy.
Can you show me how?
Absolutely.
Great.
I'm going to show you, which is one of my favorites. It's a continuous curve. I'm going to actually start in the center. You can start this one from a point or the center. And I love continuous curve because it uses the points of the block as a reference. Okay. So I'm going to start from here. I'm going to quilt a line that curves out to the top and back. So quilting this diamond as its one piece. Just kind of coming here, coming into a point, and then coming back down into the center. Now you can pause and reposition, or you could just keep on going, which is what I'm going to do, and filling in that area. Working your way around. And the great thing is this works in blocks of all sizes. So if you have a smaller block, you could do this, or if you have larger blocks, just add some more echoes to it.
That makes sense.
So instead of quilting each one of those individually, you have that kind of overall look that looks really nice. And you end up where you started, so that means you can easily continue on to the next design.
Well, that gives you a uniform design in those blocks while still letting you, like you said, customize it a little bit for either each block differently, or do you quilt the same way?
Absolutely, and that way you don't have to mark either. So I think people, when they're doing custom quilting, they're doing a lot of marking, they're doing a lot of thought.
Yeah.
This, you're just using the blocks as a guide. You're not worrying about marking it out beforehand. You're just kind of having fun with it, and then when you're finished, you can easily move on and quilt something different in the background, something that contrasts, so maybe like a swirl. And to do that, I would just travel along that seam and go right for it and have something fun in the background.
Thanks, Angela. You really made those stars shine. I think these ideas will be really helpful next time you want to quilt your blocks, whether you want to do custom, like in this block, or an all-over design to tie your blocks together.